Alright, Shalom. Brothers from GMS London Central Camp. First, we want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. Double honours unto the apostles and elders who rule well, of course. And honours to you brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity, man. Just want to do a quick video, man, on this article from RT labelled Pyongyang threatens US and Seoul with Korean-style preemptive retaliatory nuclear strike. Now, the strike itself that they're threatening, they don't have to technically really carry it out. It's a threat, as it says in Matthew 24, wars and rumors of wars. But the point of it is that back in like the 50s and 60s, in the heyday of America, no one would even dare to fucking threaten America like that, you know. But now we're in that time where we're coming to the end of this thing, and you know, America, which is Babylon, okay, is basically no one gives a fuck no more. Because you know what, like, people are starting to get armed up. You got Russia now coming up as a superpower against it, you know. The bears coming back, you know, pursuing the prophecy and hooks in their jaws. And yeah, man. So these different nations that basically have had bad dealings with America, they're starting to basically, you know, get armed up. They're starting to seek refuge in another ally, you know. You see certain things in Turkey, for example, at the moment, where Turkey have been a long-standing American ally, you know, but because of recently, there has been a bit of the stability's changed a bit, you know. Meetings with Vladimir Putin, questions about the relationship with the Kurds and how the Americans are backing the Kurds and so on and so forth, and that's basically affected their relationship. So yeah, it's going to bring this scripture out, which is pretty much going to conclude what's going to happen to America, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. So all of the countries that have nuclear capabilities, right? All that bend the bow, shoot at her, shoot your nukes, spare no arrows, shoot all of them. For she hath sinned against the Lord. And that's ultimately why Babylon's going to be destroyed, because the whole structure itself, the whole country, is like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a sin unto the Lord, man. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath do unto her. You know? So eventually what's going to happen is, when this World War III, which is already kicked off, comes into its fruit, right? When the release of the flock draws out, you know, Iran, okay, when that prophecy is basically fulfilled and this thing starts. Israel, that's right, yeah. When Israel, you know, draws out Iran, basically this thing's going to come into that climax, you know, that we've been waiting for. And Lord willing, we're going to get beamed out of here, man. The men that are sighing and crying for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof, okay? And you know, that's going to fulfill the prophecy of America being completely destroyed.
That's right.
You know, and how's that going to come about? Physically, through nuclear warfare, man. That's what World War III is all about. What you see in the films, it's not going and having fights with your armies and stuff. It's just straight nuclear warfare, you know. But yeah, you got some scriptures?
Yeah, I got a quick one here. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 4, and it says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how have the oppressor ceased? This golden city ceased." Because America's losing its shine, man. Right? It's not cool to be a part of America no more. It's not cool to be in affiliation with the United States of America anymore, man. Countries are starting to wake up to the wickedness of America and the craftiness of America, man. It's no longer beneficial to be in line with America. Right, it's going down. It's losing that Midas touch, so to speak, that it once had, man. The Most High is taking that golden dust away, right, and he's making them a stink to the nations, man. Right, and he's putting that hate back on the nations to say, you know what, fuck America, man. We're gonna come against America, and really they need to be written out of the equation for things to continue on. But what the nations also don't know is that they're going to be taken out as well, man. They're not going to have powership either. So they're going to be taken down right along with America, man, when this thing goes down.
Got scripture?
And
you got one?
Yeah, I'll just carry on from 5. The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He have smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and all none hindereth, man. Because that's how America was, man. They were Hiroshima, man, dropping bombs on the Japanese and shit. So it's payback, right? The nations, the weaker nations, they're seeing the opportunity for payback, and they're going to seize that opportunity, man, to get one over on America, man. And the Lord is going to be with them to a certain extent to carry out his plan, man.
Well, that links to what the brother was saying earlier about China. An article about China threatening Japan. Right? I don't know if did you mention that or did I mention that?
You mentioned it.
Well, there's an article which we can bring out, but basically it's about China basically threatening Japan, man, about the activity that America basically do through Japan in their waters. And ultimately, I mean, it's going to come to a point where, look, man, Japan's got American backing, okay? They've got trade, but eventually America's going to be like, yo, I've just gone through something. I'm not being backed up by America. America hasn't got my back. So they're gonna look for the next superpower, which is Russia.
That's right.
Okay. And then what's gonna happen? They're gonna start to get into the remembrance, because they ain't, like the brother was saying, they ain't forgot about Hiroshima.
Yeah.
They ain't forgot about Nagasaki. When they start to see, look, the only reason that people didn't attack America is because they were afraid. But once they see the opportunity and they see, oh, it's free game, that's why everyone's gonna fucking shoot America, because no one likes America.
Yeah.
I got a quick scripture. This is Jeremiah 51:7.
There's still more in Isaiah 14.
Can we go back to it?
Can.
Just a quick precept. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All that philosophy, all that bullshit that they have to do, all the rhetoric of the terrorism and all the wars and all the resource hijacking, that's all going to lead to that, man. Yeah, go on now.
Yeah, so verse 6, it says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, right? That ruled the nations in anger and is persecuted, and none hindereth, man.
That's right.
Right? Because America, they don't know how to rule, man. Right? They've had the chance to rule a kingdom, and they've done a terrible job, man. Bad management. So there's going to be payback for that. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing, man. So that's when America has been eradicated off of the face of the earth, man. People are going to rejoice, man. It's going to be a happy time, right? Because it's going to be no more wicked rulership, man. Verse 8, yea, the fir trees rejoice, and thee and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all kings of the nations. All that they speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? So that they're taunting America, man, because America has always, fashioned itself to be that nation that was stronger than everyone else, man, and that had the greatest artillery and the greatest weapons, and everything was just great about America. Right, it's the place you wanted to be at. It's the place where you make it in the music, in the film, or the fashion, wherever you want to be. It was that place. But it's gonna come a time where America ain't gonna be shit to no one, man, and they're gonna look down on America like they look down on us niggas now. That's how America is gonna be, man. It says, verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, right? Down to the grave, man. And the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee, man. So America's going to be destroyed, man, completely eradicated. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, man? Because that's what America has been doing. That the word Lucifer, this means light bearer.
Yeah,
right?
It's not talking about no spirits. It's referring in this.
Exactly. It's not talking about can't. It's not talking about no red demon that fell from the skies, man. It's talking about America falling from its place of rulership, man. Right? And it says here, which did this weaken the nations, because that's what America has done, man. Weakened all the nations. Look what they done to Gaddafi, man. Right? Went up in his country, like killed the guy, cold-blooded, man. Right? That's what America does. Weaken nations, take their oil and whatever they can get their hands on, man. Mm-hmm. Afghanistan, Iraq. You can just go on. The list goes on for ages, right? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars, or above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. And that the sides of the north is talking about America, man. Right? That's the land of the north that the Bible speaks of. That's America. So the clues are there, man. Right?
North America, they call it.
North America. Yeah, that's right.
Apart from in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, where it says, shall shoot her from the land of the north. In that instance, in Jeremiah, it's referring to Russia.
Can't. That's right, bro. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. And that's why all this is happening to you, America, because you try to fashion yourself to be the Most High. You know, planning on bringing that RFID chip out, you know, controlling the minds of the people, having full control. This is why you're going down, man, because you try to be like Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is not possible. So that's why you're going to be completely eradicated pursuant to the book of Obadiah, man.
That's right.
Right?
America, if you think about it, is just a test.
Can't.
Because when they went over there and started doing all the fuckery to the northern tribes, the way they looked at it like was a free land, just an endeavor.
Yeah, can't.
You know, they can do their own shit, and they flopped, man. They failed miserably. They did the same thing they did back then, again, and they're gonna get judged the same way they did back then, again this time. And then the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth, man.
Yep.
And that's how the kingdom of heaven is gonna be established.
That's right.
Through the men that make it, the men and the women and children that make it through that. You know, make it through that fire.
That's right.
You got some more?
Yeah. Verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So that shows you that Lucifer wasn't actually talking about a spiritual demon. That was actually talking about the Edom, the so-called white man.
And he says shook kingdoms. How did he do that? He shook Nagasaki, he shook Hiroshima, he shook them. He literally shook the ground. You know, with that nuclear explosion.
Yep. Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory. Every one is in his own house.
You just got to go down to Syria, Damascus, and you can just see it's just rubble. You know, made the world a wilderness, man. The cities. You know, that's what America does. That's the MO of the white man anyway. John 10:10.
That's right. Verse 19, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou art not to be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities, man. So, you know, all those people saying that, you know, it was my ancestors, I had nothing to do with it. Well, it tells you here to prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of his fathers, man. So just like we're in slavery right now, right, paying for what our forefathers did, which was really us, it's the same how it's going to be for you, man. The rules don't suddenly change just because you're on the losing end, right? You're going to pay for what your forefathers did, man.
There's a scripture, they shall complain of an ungodly father, which is what the Edomites do each. Oh, what also me, though? I have black friends. Fuck you and your black friends.
That's
Scriptures say they'll join in hand, man.
Wicked shall not go unpunished.
That's right.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Good
morning.
No, I cut off there.
Yeah, I got something still. I mean, if you got a quick one.
No, I'm probably got the rounding scripture.
Cool. Yeah, I see what you got. I mean, this is Isaiah 47:1. You know, this is another bad chapter, like Isaiah 14. You know, it says, come down and sit in the dust representing confusion, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Why virgin? Because America's never been touched like that. Yeah, you had Pearl Harbor, but they knew about Pearl Harbor. They let that happen. That was a pretext.
So they can try out a nuclear war.
Yeah, so they could, they could join the war too, innit? Same with 9/11. That was a pretext so that they could wage a war in the Middle East. Right? It said in O door of Babylon, and sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right? Take millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks and make bare the legs. Uncover thy thighs and pass over the rivers. Now I was talking about Esau's wickedness being revealed, man. Now everyone now, go on. You was about to say something, bro?
Now I was just gonna say that's getting revealed by a great millstone, man. The men that are pushing Yahweh Shai, man. That's how it's getting revealed. We've been revealing through the prophets have been revealing it since the 70s, man.
Yeah.
This man's been getting revealed bit by bit, all these wickedness, every device that he has.
It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as man. Yet when Yahushua comes back, man, he's coming to do to destroy, man.
That's right.
Hey. It says, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Man, in slavery times, man, Esau was going hard on Jay, man.
Yeah.
Whether it was a young man or an old man. You know, what was it? In 12 years of slavery, it was like one of them plantations, man. If you go there, 7 years later, you could expect to be dead. It was something like that, man. I got a picture, man, and I did a video on it of how you had flipping this kid must have been like 2-3 years old, and he was out in the fields picking cottons, man. It says, and thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever, so that there didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Yeah, America hasn't really known the loss of children, man.
Can't.
If I'm not mistaken, if you look at like World War II and World War I, the majority of the casualties, not hardly any of them were from America, man. You ain't really had like millions of American troops being killed. That ain't happened. But it's gonna happen.
Can't.
When you read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, man. Well, America's going to be destroyed anyway, but all of those American NATO soldiers that aren't on the shores of America when it gets destroyed, the Lord's going to put the spirit on them to fight against the Lord, so that he can be destroyed too, man.
Can't.
Right? It says, and they shall, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. Right? Which has got links into what the brother's about to bring out. It says, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sources, witchcraft, man. Hey, Esau's be pushing that witchcraft heavy on Jay, man. Whether it's in the music, pushing that homosexual vibration, pushing that gangster vibration, that drug dealer. That's the cool thing. If you're a gangster, if you've been to jail, if you've been a drug dealer, man, if you've got countless children that you don't care of, that makes you cool in this society. Why? Because that's the image that Esau pushes, man.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying? It's like my screen just timed out. It says sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantment. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. The Lord sees everything, man. Scriptures say, the Lord's eyes are 60 times, what was it?
More brighter than the sun.
Times brighter than the sun, man.
Can't.
That wisdom and that knowledge had perverted thee.
Well, they're idiots, because the Lord's made us see it.
Yeah.
It's all over the internet. Really, man. I remember being 12 years old, going on Cartoon Network websites. I was a kid,
Can't.
but I was still looking at. I still found out about the Rothschilds and all the wickedness and corruptness that America did
Can't.
when I was at that age. And it's out there. It's just it's overtly available.
Yeah.
Anyone who's not blind can see it. People that
Yep.
don't really get it can see it, man. There's only got a few brainwashed people who in America that yeah, fuck America, yeah, all that shit,
Can't.
Yep. Right, it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Esau thinks he's a god, man.
Can't.
Yeah, it says that in the scripture the brother read in Isaiah 14, also says that in Thessalonians. You know, basically Esau sets himself up as God, which is why he's pushing the chip, so he can be omnipotent,
That's right.
rather than omniscient, so he can know everything about you, man.
Correct.
You can't make a transaction without Esau knowing what it is you bought.
That's
You can't surf the net without Esau knowing what you bought. You know,
And it can go deeper than that.
Yep.
Because they can implement the carbon print, the whole carbon print technology stuff. They can start going into every time you breathe, every time you exhale carbon dioxide into the air. It goes deep.
Correct.
That's how you know this man needs to go, man. Because if
Right.
if the Lord didn't deliver us and destroy this man,
that's what the scripture says.
scripture
Matthew
says,
24,
"No
22.
flesh shall be saved."
No flesh
Yeah.
shall be saved,
No
man.
flesh shall be saved.
because he doesn't know. He thinks that's the thing about Esau. He thinks he can actually have men underneath him in slavery for an eternity, but he doesn't realize that he is the destroyer. He will destroy himself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not going to go on. The Lord, Esau thinks he's smart, man. He doesn't. He's not about life.
Hey, Ark, you remember that story you was telling me about how they'd catch the wolves or kill the
Can't.
wolves? They'll put the knife.
They put the knife upside down.
Yeah, tell the story, innit?
Yeah, so I saw in the beginning of a rap video. And they put I think it's certain hunters of a certain region. I forgot where it was. They get a knife. They put the base of the knife into the snow, and then they put like animal blood, like a hare's blood or something on the top of the blade.
Okay.
So a wolf will come up to it and start licking the blood, and then eventually, as he's licking it, the blade will start cutting his tongue,
Okay.
and he doesn't realize that he's licking his own blood, and he's actually licking it so much, and he's thinking, "Oh, this is great food," and
Okay.
but he doesn't realize he's actually killing himself.
Correct.
That's Esau, man. Man, he poisons the own damn air he breathes, man. He poisons the water that he breathes, that he drinks, rather, man. Poisons the food. Man's a devil. This is verse 11 of Isaiah 47. It says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth." Right, but we know. We're telling you it's gonna rise. That's why we're out. That's why the Lord, through the power and mercy of Yahweh Shem Shai, we go out every Saturday to teach this, man.
Correct.
Because Jeremiah 28:8, man. That's what the Most High has ordained us to do.
Yeah.
Right? So the mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. Yeah, man. When this Esau thinks his Patriot missile defense system will protect him, man. That's never been tested. That's never been tested, man.
It's only going to be tested once, and it's going to fail.
It's going to fail miserably, man.
That's
Scriptures say that those nukes aren't going to hit, aren't going to miss. They ain't going to hit another one, each other. They ain't going to become a broken arrow, as the military term is. It says, "And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, from thy youth." That's talking about from when America was created, man. It says, "If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things." That's mocking, man, because they ain't gonna save them.
Correct.
Ain't nothing. The Most High says in Isaiah 55:11, "My word shall not return unto me void." The Most High said that America's going to be destroyed. So there's nothing that's going to save America, man.
That's right, man.
It says, "Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn." Sorry, did I miss something? Yeah, no. "Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them." That nuclear fire, man.
Go quick precept.
They okay, bring out, bro.
It's Revelation 18:8. "Therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine,
Come.
and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her."
Hey, come, hey, go into that and the rest of that.
Come,
That's
man.
more or less finished on there.
Just like the brother, just to back up the brother's point, man, precept upon precept.
Correct.
That fire, it's going to utterly burn the whole of America, man, and it's going to be there for a while as a pretty much in a sense of a monument of wickedness, so that we can, as an example, an ensample, And so when we're in the kingdom, we can say, to our kids, that's take him there and say, "This is Babylon."
That's
And the
right.
Lord destroyed this to magnify His name.
Yeah.
the Lord delivered them, the children of Israel, out of Babylon, man,
Yeah.
to magnify His name.
That's gonna be like our museum in the kingdom, man. We're just gonna hover over America and
right.
look at the site, man.
It's a monument of what happens when you live ungodly, man.
Correct.
Hey, that's what the scripture says also. In reference to Sodom and Gomorrah, that it should be an ensample unto them that live ungodly.
One of the brothers, his father went out there, man, and he picked up the ground, and it's still got that kind of sulfur ground.
Yep.
So it's still got the remnant of what it is, of what the nuclear destruction that happened back then, the fire and brimstone.
Correct.
That's
Yeah?
right.
I've got this scripture to round it up.
Yeah, can't.
This is Revelation 18:10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. In 1 hour, the whole thing's going to be destroyed. It took 400 and something odd years to set it up. But the Lord's going to destroy it in 1 hour, man. That shows, that's the Lord again magnifying His name, man.
Yeah.
His power. And that's what ultimately, everything that happens is the glory of the Lord. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay? He's not saving Israel because Israel's so great.
Yep.
He's saving
For his
Israel
name's
because
sake.
for His name's sake.
Yeah.
Read that in Ezekiel 26.
Oh, you can get that
I
to
think.
round it up if you want to.
I don't know exactly where it is.
All right, well, look it up. It's there. So any brothers want to say anything?
Hey, America's gonna be destroyed.
That's right.
Can't.
man.
That's the
right.
main thing. That's one of the main prophecies to look out for, man. So when it gets destroyed, if you still got room, get right.
Correct. Correct.
With that, shalom.
Yeah, sure.
Shalom.
Sure.